Many people believe that one of the main reasons why Eddie Hearn signed Luis Ortiz was to try and steer him away from Anthony Joshua and protect Joshua. I'm not necessarily saying that I believe that, but there's certainly a lot of people who do. Now, what I can say is very few heavyweights out there have been keen to even speak Luis Ortiz's name, much less step in the ring with him. And out of the fighters who have spoken his name, people like Tyson Fury and Dereck Chisora, they've pretty much expressed their unwillingness to step in the ring with Ortiz because in their view, the risk reward is not very favorable. It's very high risk for very little reward. Well, now Ortiz has signed with Matchroom. Anthony Joshua has come out and told Sky Sports that he would be willing to face Luis Ortiz in the future. I'm going to quote Anthony Joshua directly here. He says, "I see how this is going to unfold. That's another fight for me. That is no problem. Hopefully I defeat Klitschko and then I can fight Luis Ortiz. I'll be watching him for sure because he is a competitor in a division that I could face sooner or later, so I have to put him as a priority. If we fight Luis Ortiz, it would be a good scrap because I like fighting southpaws. I've got a powerful right hand that I could whip into the body or straight to the head. It would be a good challenge and a good name to have on the record at some stage, but first let's focus on the drummer boy, Éric Molina." Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. Now, is Joshua serious here? Would he really like to fight Luis Ortiz if he gets past Vladimir Klitschko? Would Eddie Hearn even allow him to fight Luis Ortiz? I know Hearn has been talking about it, but would he really do it? Now, some people tend to get it twisted when I throw these questions out there and act as though I'm coming down on one side of the fence or the other. I'm just asking the questions at the moment, people. I don't know if Joshua is serious about this or not. That's why I'm leaving it up to you guys to debate that in the comments. But as I say, Ortiz has been avoided. He isn't a guy that anybody's anxious to get in the ring with. Interestingly enough, well, actually, let's give credit to Malik Scott because he is getting in the ring with Ortiz and he claims that he's the one who picked Ortiz, not the other way around. So credit to Malik Scott. But it was interesting watching the press conference for Ortiz versus Scott today because Malik Scott looks significantly taller than Luis Ortiz. They're both listed at 6'4", but Ortiz definitely looks the shorter man. And I've suspected for a while that Ortiz is not as tall as his listed height of 6'4". I suspected it in the Bryant Jennings fight. And somebody reliable informed me that Luis Ortiz actually campaigned at heavyweight in the amateurs, not super heavyweight. So he was only a 200-pound fighter in the amateurs. This adds more credence to the claim, or at least my belief, that Luis Ortiz is not really 6'4". I think he's closer to 6'2" than 6'4". Does it make any difference? Well, yeah, it could. In the land of the giants, which is what we have in the heavyweight division these days, being over 6'4" is a benefit a lot of the time. So the fact that, well, my suspicion that Luis Ortiz is not 6'4", he's closer to 6'2", maybe 6'3", something like that. To me, that's going to be a hindrance for him moving forward. And when he gets in there with one of the really big heavyweights, I think you're going to notice just how small he looks next to them. When he gets in there with a Joshua or somebody like that, if those fights happen, you'll be like, wow, Ortiz is small. So anyway, drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about Anthony Joshua's comments to Sky Sports. Is he serious? Is he not serious? If the fight happened next year, who would you be picking to win? Does this size of Ortiz make any difference? I mean, even Ortiz's weight, he's not the most ripped heavyweight in the world. But yet, look at his weight. He weighs in the 230s a lot of the time. If this guy was really 6'4", there's no way with those broad shoulders and everything that he'd be in the 230s. Yeah? Dereck Chisora is not even in the 230s, and he's about 6'1", 6'2". So now Ortiz is, a lot shorter than he's listed, I think. But let me know what you think about that. If you think there's any, if it makes any difference, maybe you don't. Drop it all in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.